Hello, fine people. Welcome back to another video with Matrix Decoded.
Looking at these? Yup, I got myself some braces. They hurt for the first few days. Therefore, I wasn't able to make video for you guys. But luckily for you, I couldn't stop making content. Anyways, here's if statements. So what are if statements? It is basically a statement which allows the user to make a choice in their program, where they're able to choose between two paths. Think of it like when you come across a sign in the forest, and it says to coding land or to video game land. Obviously, the right choice would be choose coding land, and if you walk into that path, you will have a fun time. Whereas in video game land, you're gonna learn nothing. Easy, right? Let's try an example. Let's open up our idle. We're going to make a new file and save it as if statements in your specific folder. So let's go ahead, press Ctrl N, bring our pop-up window up, and save it as if statements in your specific folder. By now you should be pretty comfortable of how we save a file. Let's go ahead and save this as if statements. Once you have got it, we're going to make a variable and call it whatever you like. Inside the variable, let's put your age. So I'm going to go ahead and put first. And first is equal to my age, which is 13. And we're going to make another variable, and you can call it whatever you want. Inside, store a random number, but make sure to make it smaller than your age. Just remember to make it relevant so you know what it is doing. So let's go ahead and make our second variable second. So let's go ahead and make that 9. Sounds good. 13 is kind of bigger than 9. Time for if statements. Now what we're going to do is make an if statement. Not so surprisingly, we're going to type if and then our very first variable name. So let's go ahead and type in if and then first. In this case, my variable name first. After, we're going to put a greater than sign symbol and then our second variable name. So like this, first is bigger than second, and then a colon. This is telling the user that our first number is greater than the second, and if so, do something. So I would like you to press enter and you should see that it is indented, which is fine. Now we're going to type print, and inside the print, A is greater than B, like this. So it should be tagged, then print, and inside the print are quotation marks, and we should say A is greater than B. After, you should type enter again, and press the backspace button if your new line is indented. Now we're going to type else followed by a colon, and press enter and make a new print statement saying A is not greater than B, like this. Backspace, else, I misspelled that there, else, then a colon. It is already tagged it for us. And inside this else, a print statement like I have said, quotation marks, and we should say A is not greater than B. Now let's run this. It printed A is greater than B, or A is greater than B, but that was just a typo. So it said A is greater than B. Good. It did not say the second line, because by default, first is set to be bigger than second. First is my variable and second is my other variable. Now you're probably wondering, how can we take user input and possibly use it as an if statement? And that, my friend, is going to be your challenge. So for our challenge today, we're going to be making an if statement, and it should ask the user if they enjoy coding, and tell the user to type Y or N. If they press Y, it should say fantastic, and if N, say consider a new hobby. Ready? If you don't get it, let me show you the end result. So over here I've made the program, but I'm not going to let you see it until you try on your own. So do you enjoy coding? Type Y or N. Of course I enjoy coding. So Y, fantastic. And if I pressed N, as you can see here, it's going to say, oh, that's a bummer. Consider a new hobby. If you don't get it, it's okay. Don't worry, because I have not explained to you a fairly simple concept. I would like you to try on your own as hard as you can. And if you don't get it, don't pause me and continue ahead with the video so I can explain what is really happening. Great! Have you finished? Let's open up our file and check out what we're doing. So over here I've made an input statement, remember, as in the second video, and I have assigned it the variable coding. This is asking the user, do you enjoy coding? Type Y or N. And then we end that and we make an if statement. And this is saying if coding is double equal sign to Y in quotation marks. Note that we have two equal sign because one equal sign is usually represented to only assign a variable, whereas two equal signs symbolizes that it's equal to something, like a balance machine. So if coding is equal or double equal to quotation mark Y, quotation marks because Y is a string, not a number. And if so, our colon and print fantastic. Otherwise, or else, print, oh, that's a bummer. Consider a new hobby. Easy? Today, we're not going to be doing a second challenge because I would like you to experiment with different if and else statement scenarios and show your parents, your family, or your siblings.
Congratulations! We finished the if statements. If you would like to learn more, consider searching about if statements on your browser, typing in if statements in Python, because it is a vast topic. Otherwise, that's all for today. And remember to subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you all for 50 subscribers.
No.